And with me today is Phil Henry. Hello, Phil.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Great, and great to have you here.
Thanks for having me on the radio.
Do you classify yourself as just another folk artist?
I hope not. I don't know. Folk gets such a dirty word, but it's a name for the community I'm in more than it's a name for the kind of music that I play. If that makes sense. There's
Hmm.
something about the folk music community which is all about kind of connecting with other people in a way that maybe rock doesn't, or maybe country doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's kind of that big umbrella, and I'm an acoustic musician, so that puts me in that folk category. But I think I certainly tip a little more toward rock sometimes, and tip a little more toward country in other times. So
Yeah.
it's under that big umbrella.
Were you instantly drawn kind of to folk, or were you going through some other styles too, like you mentioned, country and some rock?
Gosh, when I was a kid, all I wanted to be was a rock star, and I'd be listening to Rush and Van Halen and all these guys. But I saw Martin Sexton at a club in Burlington, Vermont, and Martin Sexton, who was at the festival last year, and gosh, I mean, and he stopped me dead in my tracks. And from that moment on, I had to figure out, okay, well, where is he playing? What kind of thing is he doing? Because he's also not a what I would call a strictly folk kind of guy.
No.
But following him led me to some great venues like Cafe Lena in Saratoga Springs, New York, which is a folk venue that really blurs all those lines. And it brought me to the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival, which at the time was in Hillsdale, New York, and that's where I found this folk community.
Um, and what a wonderful community it is. You said last year was your first time at Black Bear Americana Music Festival, and happy to have you returning. You're going to be playing twice, or you're going to be performing Saturday on the acoustic stage, and then Friday at the workshop stage. Are you giving a class at the workshop stage?
No, the workshop stage, while it's in quotes as workshop, there will be some actual classes there, some things on recording and some other things. But in this case, it's an excuse to have a songwriters in the round. So I'll be there with two other musicians, Ian Campbell, who is one of the founders of the festival, and also Shanna in a Dress, who's another dynamic performer. So the three of us will be trading songs, kind of Nashville Bluebird style songwriters in the round. If listeners aren't familiar with that, it just means that we'll just take turns sharing songs, and it's one of my favorite formats to make music with. And one, because I get to hear some great songs from two other fabulous songwriters. But there's this interesting kind of through line that happens where they sing a song about, I don't know, about heartache, and then the next person's got to find their heartache song, or they pick up on a vibe of the song ahead of them, and kind of pick up a thread. I found myself in the songwriters in the round recently where somebody did a song about motion sickness, seasickness, and I was able to pick up a song of mine about seasickness, and
Wow.
and carry it on. And when does that happen? Except in this kind of songwriter in the round. So looking
That's
forward to that.
funny. I was recently we had an event for the New Music Alliance, and we had four singer-songwriters performing one after the other. And it was funny. Like one of the first artists had a song about a barista that they had met and frequented often and saw them often. One of the later artists that were performing, they changed up one of the songs in their set because they also had a song about a barista that they liked.
Right. And in this case, you could have a whole little mini set about baristas. I've got a barista song. So, you know,
I saw that last year at the Black Bear. I remember Kayla Farnham and a couple other
oh,
performers
I love
were
Kayla.
doing that. Yeah, she's our state troubadour. Did you know that?
I did know that. Absolutely. I used to play a little backyard festival in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, and Kayla, when she was just starting out, was playing her ukulele and her piano there. So I'm so happy to see her success because she's
Mm.
awesome.
And you alluded early on, that you collaborate, and then something I noticed just going through your catalog, you do a lot of collaborations, and I guess it's all part of this folk scene that you were mentioning as well. Um, can you talk about maybe some of the highlights of all these collaborations, or maybe one that you would like to initiate someday?
Goodness, I don't know. I mean, we cross paths with so many musicians, and it's so much fun to have the opportunity to make music with some of these folks, and I continue to. There's a great couple named Jay and or Miles and Mafali, Jay Mafali and Catherine Miles out in Long Island that I love working with, and gosh, I mean, there's folks all over the place. So, anytime I get an opportunity to record with other folks, and that's mainly the way that it seems to work, is a little bit of recording here and there, because geographically we're all so spread out.
Mm.
I live up in Rutland, Vermont, and that especially makes me a little bit more remote. So the opportunity to collaborate comes through some of what we're doing today, like where we're recording via Zoom, but also recording tracks and then sending them off to friends in Hawaii, or friends in Boston, or friends in Long Island or Syracuse, and get a chance to have these other musicians put their stamp on it.
Wow. Are you skilled in the art of Django Reinhardt?
Oh gosh, no.
I
I,
saw
I
something in your bio about Django Reinhardt.
Oh gosh, I'm not sure about that. I do have a Django inspired tune. No, in fact, I'm a music teacher 10 months of the year at a little K through 12 school here in Vermont, and one of my favorite students of all time was a kid I started teaching when he was in third grade, and he became this just phenomenal Django Reinhardt styled musician who's now traveled all over the world. His name is Max O'Rourke, and he plays in this group called the Rhythm Future Quartet, and he's amazing. And I love that style of music. But when it came time to record this Django styled tune, I hired him to come and play it.
Oh, that's cool.
And sometime I've got to have him sit down with me and just show me all this great stuff he's doing in there, because it's a little beyond me, because that style is so cool. I love that kind of
Mm.
rhythmic stuff. It's very, very cool.
Earlier this year, I had Luke Hendon and Jack Sorif. They came down to the radio station where I do a college radio show, and that's their main style. And I believe they were talking about a summit that they hold every summer in Northampton. So that
Django
wouldn't
in
be.
June. Django in June, I believe.
Yes, that's
And
it.
my,
That's
and
it.
my student is one of the instructors there now.
Oh, wow. That is cool. It must be really rewarding when you have a student that you're with for a very long time and you see them progress and do well on their own.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's very exciting. I've had that opportunity now over the years to be a collaborator, and to with some of these kids that I knew as teenagers and younger, and now they've found their own kind of niche. There's a punk musician in Vermont named Nick Grandchamp, who is one of my students, and now we write songs together,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty great.
Very cool. So, why did you sell your Les Paul?
The funny thing is that wasn't my Les Paul. In fact, that was Nick's Les Paul.
Oh,
So
no.
that's totally the thing. But I think So for those of you who haven't heard it, it's a song. I should have never sold my Les Paul, and I think musicians all have that guitar that you wish you hadn't let go of. Whether it's an old Martin or some beater, but it had just had some flavor. And for Nick, it was a Les Paul. But it's funny that you talk about a Les Paul, which is like a rock and roll guitar, but that's the folkiest song ever to to pine for that object you let go.
I really love that song.
No, thank
Well,
you.
Phil, thank you so much. Do you have a moment and play a quick game?
Sure,
It's
sure.
it's
All right.
called Lyrical Ponderings. I'm going to give you a song title that is in the form of a question. You can either tell me who sang the song or answer the question.
Okay.
Pick a number between 1 and 201.
1 and 201. Um. Let's say 75.
75.
I wasn't sure if that was the question.
There you go. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Where's the party at?
It's not here. I don't know. I don't know whose song that is.
That was Jagged Edge featuring Nelly in 2001.
Dear God. Okay. All right. I'm 0 for 0. 0
You
for
know what?
1.
Not too many people get the correct answer.
Okay. All right. It's much more about the creativity in the answer.
That's the fun
Got it.
part is
Got it.
well, thank you very much, Phil, and looking forward to seeing you at the Black Bear Americana Music Festival. You'll be around on Friday and that Saturday, October 6th and 7th, and the festival will continue on the 8th as well.
Perfect.
So thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you, Mark.